I love hunting and fishing, but I never bothered to hunt in the real world. I fished countless times throughout my childhood. I love going to Saginaw Bay to fish for large catfish a few times before age and time constraints stopped the trip from ever happening again. Not my age, but relatives are getting up there and are more busy over the last 3 or so years. So anyways, I remember as a kid I got Hunting Unlimited 2007 at $1 General one time as a teenager or preteen, can't remember exactly when. To think video games at a dollar store, back then that was unheard of. I could get a PC or console game dirt cheap at a dollar store instead of having to go to a Best Buy and pay a fortune. That's great. Now it's just Angry Birds and other crap that you get at Dollar General and stuff in video game form. But back then, there was all kinds of obscure stuff. I even got Splat Magazine Renegade Paintball there one time as well. I already have reviewed that, so go check that out. But back to hunting. This version is the same game as before, it's just called 2010. I mean, it is a sports game after all, that's what they always do.
He ain't lying.
We'll start with the basics. Visually, the game is fugly, but that's fine. It never was a looker back in the day either. You can create a profile and in turn, you can choose your player model and a hat.
I got my hat.
After that, you got plenty of options such as the range to play with all the firearms, a database for all the guns, locations, and animals you can hunt. We got lots of animals to hunt too, such as moose, deer, bears, elephants, lions, cougars, wolves, turkeys, and more. The locations are Alaska, Northeast, Rockies, Northwest, Africa, and more, each with their own selection of mules. The guns are also in large variety, from bolt action, lever action, 10 gauge and 12 gauge shotguns, pump action shotguns, semi-auto rifles, muzzle loader, compound bow, crossbow, revolver, and pistol. You can free hunt, play challenges, or even create your own missions. Yep, create a hunt where a giant grizzly bear is about to maul you in Alaska with split-second reflexes needed to survive. You die in one hit, as the animals just run through you. They don't actually attack, which sucks. The editor does offer a good amount of stuff, and is simple enough to create basic hunts, to even offering more advanced scripting tools if you want something more. I just like creating quick, simple hunting challenges, like surviving a rampaging herd of elephants and stuff like that. The maps themselves are empty and basic in details. You won't see much for most of your trip as you walk, run, ride a horse, or an ATV to find animals to shoot. The movement is clunky and slow. Also, the key bindings are a bit questionable. T is to pose, G is to switch weapons, spacebar is to bring up and lower your weapon, etc. But hey, there's a neat bullet time feature which you can toggle in the settings. So yay. I honestly don't know what I saw in the game at all those years ago, but then again for PC back in 2009 to 2010, I can't remember when it was when I got it. We had barely any options for hunting games on PC. I was switching to PC over the years at that point, so Cabela games were not an option, as I didn't find anything at the time that wasn't for console only. I did not enjoy this version of the game. I do not enjoy Hunting Unlimited at all anymore. It was fine for the time, but man, you could play so many better hunting games these days, right? Right? Oh right, all we got is The Hunter Call of the Wild, and that isn't anything special either. Even the horse riding is very clunky and not very enjoyable to use, and you can be killed while riding the horse from predators and other animals if they run into you, so it's really not worth it. And the ATV is loud, so it scares off animals, including predators. And the ATV itself crashes into every little thing, and it's very slow, very floaty yet clunky, if you can believe it. It's like slippery. yet very tankish and grounded, and for some reason, it's so slow, especially once you start going up a hill. But then when you go down a hill, all of a sudden you gain mass amount of speed and you're zooming all over the place, hoping you don't crash into anything along the way. It's like, what the hell is up with this ATV? It went from being slow as a turtle to turning into a NASCAR vehicle. So yeah, there's that. You have a wide variety of tools to take with you on your hunt, like scent covering, also scents that can be used to lure certain animals like predators and deer. You got different types of bait, you got different types of blinds like a ground blind, a stand blind, a tree blind. You got different types of maps and binoculars and a telescope and different calls. So there's a lot of different gear you can choose to play with. You can also change your camo to match the environment. I don't think it has any real effect. I never noticed a difference depending on what camo you wore in the game. So I think it's just cosmetic. So if you want to wear Arctic clothing in the middle of the African desert while hunting elephants, then go right ahead. Shooting animals isn't that satisfying, as the shooting is very basic and doesn't have like any real recoil. Doesn't feel good shooting guns. You're just shooting to shoot, and your bullets basically go where they're supposed to. So it's not really that enjoyable. Depending on which weapon you use, they might feel more clunky than others, especially the time-consuming reloads for things like the bows and the muzzle reloader. And it doesn't seem to matter what weapon you use, as each animal, even if you shoot it in the face, it might not die. I shot an elephant in the face several times with a muzzle loader, and it still wouldn't drop dead. A muzzle loader should bring down an elephant, especially if I shoot it in the face several times. I shot a bear in the face with a muzzle loader and it dropped dead. What the hell's up with this RNG bullshit? But hey, if you want to play it, go right ahead, as it's still available on Steam to buy. That's where I got it, and I regret it after all these years holding it as something special. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug.